Hello dear children, how are you? I hope you all are in the best of your health. Children, welcome you all in the science class, and today we are going to discuss chapter number 16 of grade 8 science, that is light. Children, look around your surrounding. You can see so many things in your surrounding. Which organ of our body enables us to see all these things? Yes, eyes. Can you guess what else do we need to see all these things? Can we see things in dark? What are mirrors? And how many types of mirrors are there? We know all these questions as we have learned them in previous class. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn about laws of reflection, regular and diffused reflection, human eye, Braille system, and multiple images. Here, we are going to discuss all these topics in detail. So, let's start with reflection and laws of reflection. Dear children, have you ever thought how we see various objects around us? You know that our 5 sense organs help us to know this world. They are the sense to see, to hear, to taste, to smell, and to touch. Eyes help us in seeing, ears in hearing, tongue in tasting, nose for smelling, and skin help us in feeling. Dear children, eyes are the most important sense organ of our body. Can you see objects in the dark? No. It means that beside eyes, we also need light to see things. It is only when light from an object enters our eyes that we see the things. The light may have been emitted by the objects or may have been reflected by them. Some objects give out their own light, like sun, fluorescent bulb, a burning candle, etc. These are called luminous objects. But there are so many things which do not emit light of their own, like table, chair, wall, paper, etc. They are called non-luminous objects. Children, then how we see all these non-luminous objects? Yes, this happens due to reflection of light. These non-luminous objects reflect the light, and this reflected light reaches our eyes. But from where this reflected light comes from? Children, this light comes from some luminous object. It means we are able to see any non-luminous object by reflecting of light that is coming from a luminous object. That is why we are able to see blue sky, green plants, etc. in daytime, because they reflect light of sun which reaches our eyes. At night, we see moon in the sky because moon reflects sun's light falling on it. Children, moon itself is a non-luminous body. It does not have its own light. Now, let us study laws of reflection. Children, we have learnt about luminous and non-luminous objects. Can you guess in which direction luminous objects reflect their light? Look at this fluorescent bulb. It gives light in all directions. Imagine a ray of light strikes the surface. This ray of light is called incident ray. Surface reflects the incident ray. This ray of light which sent back after reflection is called reflected ray. But why only in this direction? Why not any other? Because light of rays works under two laws. Draw a line at perpendicular to the surface at the point of incidence. It is called the normal. The angle which the incidence ray makes with the normal at the point of incidence is called the angle of incidence. It is represented by letter I. The angle between the reflected ray and normal at the point of incidence is called angle of reflection. It is represented by letter R. Now, let's learn laws of reflection. First law of reflection says that the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. That is why when a ray strikes any surface at angle I, it always moves to a direction which has angle of reflection angle R equal to angle I. If we change angle I, then direction of reflected ray also changes to make angle R equals to angle I. According to second law of reflection, the incident ray, the normal at the point of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. That is why we can show reflection in our notebooks, because all rays have same plane. Now think children, if reflected ray was in upward direction, would we be able to see that ray? In that case, the diagram of reflection would have been like this, where incident ray and normal would have present on the same plane, but plane of reflected ray would have been different. But this is not possible. Now, let us understand laws of reflection with the help of an activity. Fix a white sheet of paper on a drawing board or a table. Take a comb perpendicular to the sheet of paper. Throw light from torch through the opening of the comb from one side. Place a strip of plain mirror in the path of the light ray. What do you observe? Yes, we can see that the ray of light is reflected in another direction. Mark them as shown and also draw the normal. Now recognize angle of incidence and angle of reflection and mark them on paper. Measure these angles by using a protractor. You will find that both the angles are equal in measurement. It proves the first law of reflection, that is, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Children, you can take different readings by changing the position of torch. Sheet of paper represents one plane on the table. If we cut and bend the paper as shown here, we create a different plane. Now we can only see incident ray and the normal because they are present on same plane, and because of change of plane we are not able to see the reflected ray. This proves the second law of reflection, that is, the incident ray, the normal at the point of incidence and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Dear children, now let's learn about regular and diffused reflection. Children, we know the reflection occurs when light rays falls on any surface. If reflection occurs from a smooth surface like that of a mirror, it is called regular reflection. For example, reflection from surface of water or from the surface of a shining tile. Images are formed by regular reflection. That is why we are able to see our image on any shiny surface. But if light rays falls on any wooden surface or on any wall, the reflection is called diffused or irregular reflection. Images are not formed by irregular reflection. That is why we cannot see our image on wall or on wooden surface. In irregular or diffused reflection, the entire light falls on the surface, is reflected in all directions in scattered manner. The light enters in our eyes is generally the result of diffused or irregular reflection. Now let's learn about multiple images. Take two plain mirrors, hinge them with the help of adhesive tape so that they can move easily at different angles. Now set them at an angle as shown. Place any object like a candle, ball or a coin between the mirrors. We can see the image of the object in mirrors. Now change the angle of the mirror. You can see that as we change the angle between the mirrors, number of images formed in mirror also changes. So, dear children, can you guess the reason for the formation of these images? Children, these images are formed due to reflection of the reflected light. Daily life application of this is being seen at hair salon. When you visit a salon, the hairdresser holds a mirror behind you to show you how the hair has been cut. Dear children, this idea of number of images formed by mirrors placed at an angle to one another is used in a kaleidoscope to make numerous beautiful patterns. Children, let's make our own kaleidoscope. To make a kaleidoscope, get 3 rectangular mirror strips and join them together to form a prism. Fix them in a circular cardboard tube. Close one end of the tube by a cardboard disc having a hole in the center through which you can see. To make the disc durable, paste a piece of transparent plastic sheet under the cardboard disc. At the other end, touching the mirrors, fix a circular plain glass plate. place on this plate several small pieces of colored glasses. Now close the end of the tube. Our kaleidoscope is now ready. When you peep through the hole, you will be able to see a variety of patterns in the tube. Dear children, now let's discuss about sunlight. Children, you must have seen a rainbow in the sky just after a shower of rain. Do you know rainbow is formed due to dispersion of light? Let's understand this dispersion of light with the help of an activity. Take a bowl filled with water and place a plane mirror perpendicularly in the ball. Now place this arrangement near a window so that sunlight directly falls on the mirror. Place the bowl in such a way so that reflected light from the mirror should fall on any white plain wall. You can see different colors in reflected light. This phenomenon of splitting of white light into its component colors is called dispersion of light. So children, rainbow is a natural event which shows dispersion of light. Now let's learn about very important sense organ of our body, that is our eyes. Children, we have learnt that we can see things due to reflection of light. Now let's see what happens when these reflected rays enter our eyes. Our eye has a roughly spherical shape. The outer coat of the eye is white and transparent, which is called cornea. Transparent means light rays enters in our eyes through this layer. It is a tough layer. It protects the interior of the eye from accidents. Behind the cornea is a dark muscular structure called iris. The iris is that part of eye which give it its distinctive color. When we say that a person has blue eyes, we refer actually to the color of the iris. The iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. In the iris, there is a small opening called the pupil. If we throw light in eye with a torch, the size of pupil decreases because eye cannot tolerate such a high intensity of light. If the light is dim, the pupil expands in order to allow more light to enter the eye. Light rays from the pupil falls on the lens of the eye. The lens present in our eye is convex lens, which is thicker at the center. The lens focuses light on the back of the eye on a layer called retina. The retina contains several nerve cells. There are two kinds of cells: cones, which are sensitive to bright light, and rods, which are sensitive to dim light. Sensations felt by the nerve cells are then transmitted to the brain through the optic nerve. At the junction of the optic nerve and the retina, there is a point called blind spot. It is a point where when light rays falls, we can't see anything. Children, let's understand blind spot with the help of an activity. Make a round mark and a cross on a sheet of paper at some distance. Hold the sheet of paper at an arm's length from the eye. Now close your left eye. Look continuously at the cross. Move the sheet slowly towards you, keeping your eye on the cross. What do you find? Round mark disappear at some point. Now close your right eye, look at the round mark and repeat the activity. What happens now? Yes, this time cross disappears. Children, the disappearance of cross or the round mark shows that there is a point on the retina which cannot send messages to brain when light falls on it. This point is present at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina. There are no sensory cells, so no vision is possible at that point. That is why we are not able to see the cross or the dot from that distances from where the light rays coming from them focused on blind spot. Children, one more interesting aspect of our eye is that the impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists there for about 1/16th of a second. Look here, we have some pictures with very little difference. Observe these pictures as one image per second. It seems like this. Now, let's see them by increasing the rate 5 images per second. Can you observe any changes? Our eyes can see changing images. Now, if we change the rate at 24 images per second, oh, it's looking like a video. At movies, this quality of our eyes is used. So, dear children, eyes are very important for us. It is necessary that you take proper care of your eyes. Let's look at some important points for care of our eyes. Do not rub your eyes. Wash your eyes frequently with clean water. Always read at the normal distance for vision. One should include diet components which have vitamin A. If particles of dust go into your eyes, wash your eyes with clean water. Do not look at the sun or a powerful light directly. If there is any problem, you should go to an eye specialist. Dear children, now let's learn about Braille system. The most popular resource for visually challenged person is Braille. It was developed by Louis Braille. Braille is a system of representing characters or English letters by raised dots. For example, here cat is written C-A-T. These characters are read by touching them with fingers. Dear children, now let's revise what we have learned in this chapter. Light is reflected from all surfaces, diffused or irregular reflection takes place from rough surfaces. Two mirrors inclined to each other give multiple images. Beautiful patterns are formed in a kaleidoscope because of multiple reflections. Splitting of white light into its constituent colors is known as dispersion. A normal eye can see nearby and distant objects clearly. Visually challenged persons can read and write using the Braille system. Dear children, now I have some questions for you and I hope that you have the answers. First question, state laws of reflection. Question number 2, give one example each of objects showing regular and diffused reflection. Think about these questions and try to write them in your notebook. So children, here we come to an end of this chapter. I hope you find the chapter very interesting. In this chapter, we have understood how laws of reflection work in each and every condition. What are multiple images and how they are formed? How can we make our own kaleidoscope? So, I hope you will study this chapter in a very interesting way. So, keep studying, keep smiling and stay safe. Good day.